First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
We're taking a live look at the Capitol in Washington, D.C., where the House is hosting its first votes right now to potentially end the longest government shutdown in history. The House is set to consider a stopgap funding bill that the Senate has greenlit already, and President Donald Trump is calling it, quote, a very big victory. Welcome to First at 5. I'm Juan Chaoui.
And I'm Carolina Tortorelli. Today is the 43rd day of the government shutdown, and a final vote at 7 p.m. could end this historic halt as it is expected to pass the Republican-led chamber. If the government reopens, officials say SNAP benefits could resume promptly. The timeline for air travel returning to normal is less certain. The FAA is still forcing flight cancellations due to air traffic controller shortages. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says they'd get 70% of their back pay within 48 hours of the government reopening. But he says he's not sure the staffing issues will go away immediately. Democrats also raised the possibility of another shutdown if healthcare is not addressed once the bill's funding ends in January. We will continue to update and report on the shutdown on all of our platforms.
Here locally, the last 48 hours saw some of the coldest weather we've seen in years, but now things are taking a bit of a turn for the rest of the week. We have team coverage following the major dip in temperature we have seen this past weekend and what is going to follow. Our reporter Bella Heupel spoke to residents on how they prepared for the cold weather. But first, UF forecaster Matthew Clark is here to tell us about the record-breaking low temperatures we had in Central Florida this morning.
Well, if you were up this morning, you felt just how cold it was outside. It was frigid. We actually officially reached 28 degrees here in Gainesville, 28 in Ocala, and 20s elsewhere across north central Florida. It was below freezing. People saw some frost on their windshields, on their roofs, on grass earlier this morning. It was just overall very cold outside, and that actually breaks the record on this day. That old record was set back in 2011. 28 degrees this morning breaks that record by 2 degrees. Regardless, 30 degrees, 28 degrees, it was still frigid outside. But we have warmed up quite nicely this afternoon. We have reached the 70s this afternoon, but we are now sitting at 68 degrees in Gainesville, 67 in Ocala, and 62 over in the Villages. So we have warmed up, definitely needing to shed some layers as we head into this afternoon. Looking outside, it is a gorgeous clear night sky, and that gorgeous clear night sky is going to continue. It'll be a little bit chilly later this evening, but not freezing. Coming up in just a few minutes, I'll have just how warm we're going to get as we head into this upcoming weekend and how long this cold is here to stay.
And the cold weather this week might have been a shock to your system. Temperatures plummeting well below what we're used to this time of year. Frost on vehicles in the morning to chilly nights. WUFT's Isabella Heupel shows us how some local residents are weathering the freeze.
At Depot Park, people are bundling up against the cold. Some people I spoke with say that they moved down to Florida for the warmer weather, but this feels more like winters up north. The temperature drop shocked Brandon Fritz and Florida Lisa Rubin, who came out to the park to enjoy the water.
The suddenness of it, because I don't think it was like overnight, it just got cold.
Yeah, we just have like a very hot last few weeks, and now it's cold.
For them, it's been nice to exercise outside with the cooler lows.
I know in the summertime we were biking a lot, and it was a little bit too hot in the daytime, so we would bike in the evening at night.
Get cooler one.
But with this weather, we could probably go biking and it'd be comfortable.
Zondi Pinar laced up her running shoes and moved from New Jersey to Florida. The cold is nothing new for her, but she's still bundling up.
I've been wearing long sleeves when I run. Definitely putting on more layers when I walk to class in the morning, things like that. So.
While Zondi layers up, Kendall Longwater and Riley Connors embrace the cooler temperatures.
Honestly, I love it. I think it's really nice. I'm from like South Florida, so we don't even get this cold, but I like the break. It's definitely nice.
Yeah, I like to it's nice to be able to go outside and everything and not be sweating so bad and doing that kind of stuff.
Whether you're bundling up or enjoying the cold as is, one thing all of these neighbors have in common is there is no place they'd rather do it than in the Sunshine State. Residents can still expect cooler lows throughout the rest of the week. In Gainesville, Isabella Heupel, WUFT News.
And it's that time of the year where temperatures drop below 45 degrees. The Extreme Weather and Cold Night Shelter program is now available for those in need. The program partners with Grace Marketplace and St. Francis House to provide shelter, meals, and showers tonight.
An immediate emergency closure of a part of Southwest 24th Avenue is in place after a minor sinkhole opened in the area. The section between Southwest 91st Street and Southwest 87th, way near Publix, is sanctioned off and drivers are being detoured. You can expect delays and plans for construction. The Public Board Director for Alachua County said the city is working to cover the sinkhole. Please use caution, stay alert, and follow detour signs when in the area.
And troopers are investigating 3 deadly crashes in 3 different north central Florida counties. First, a 23-year-old is dead after driving off US 27 in Levy County Tuesday afternoon. A 24-year-old and a 2-year-old also in the car were left in critical condition. Troopers say the car flipped an unknown amount of times and hit a tree. The driver was thrown from his seat and pronounced dead on the scene. Then a deadly head-on crash in Columbia County last night on State Road 47 left a 33-year-old woman dead and a 23-year-old man in critical condition. Troopers say that both drivers were not wearing their seatbelts. And this morning, a 38-year-old is dead after flipping an ATV in Putnam County on State Road 20. Troopers say the driver lost control and a 36-year-old passenger was left with serious injuries.
Citrus County Fire Rescue is warning residents to not smoke inside after they say a dropped cigarette caused significant damage to an RV. The camper fire sparked up this morning in Iverness. Firefighters were able to control the flames, but the camper and everything inside was destroyed. Fire crews say, fortunately, the person inside was able to get out safely. And the GRU Authority Board is meeting for the first time since last week's election. Members of the governor's hand-picked board will discuss the, quote, most meaningful events since their last meeting. Voters overwhelmingly decided to unseat the board and give city commissioners control of the utility last Tuesday. Board members filed a lawsuit shortly after, and a state appeals judge decided to keep the authority in power while the case plays out in court. The meeting starts in less than 30 minutes. When we return, a Miami teacher is turning his creativity into inspiration, both in the classroom and on the canvas.
That's right. His art has earned him recognition around the world, but it's his teaching that has left a mark, carving the path for his students' success.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
For one South Florida artist, creativity comes from everywhere, from superheroes to monsters and even everyday life.
And WUFT's Victoria Perez gives us an inside look in how his creativity is making an impact outside of the studio.
Signed, sealed, delivered. Brian Reedy was making art.
As soon as I was able to pick up a pencil.
That's the world he grew up in.
Both my parents were artists. You know, my dad, he always encouraged us to be creative.
And creativity can be expressed in unique ways.
So in layman's terms, making a block print is like making your own stamp.
It led him to the art of linoleum printing.
It's something that the minute I saw that, I knew that that was the process for me. I mean, it felt right, and I never looked back.
Now his pieces have earned him a place in the art world. Blocks line the walls of his studio.
Here's a series that I was doing for Greek mythology.
Each featuring intricate designs and pop culture references.
They simply place their order, and I give them the things that they ask for, and I mail it off, and everyone's happy.
He's built a career around exactly that. From Disney to Game of Thrones, his art ventures far beyond the linoleum.
Guys!
When Reedy isn't in his studio,
oh yeah, I love it.
You can find him with his students.
I like being an artist, I like being a professional artist, but I also love being a teacher.
This artist turned teacher's drive to see his students succeed sparks his own creativity.
So when I see that these amazing images that they're producing that's coming from them is something that keeps me very motivated as an artist. In fact, I can't wait to get home and get in the studio.
One of these students is Santi Tejero.
I think everything that he does is I feel like it's always so impactful. I feel like he leaves a mark on everyone he's ever spoken to or interacted with.
That means coworkers too.
And I always tell the kids, and I always tell him, we're really fortunate that he still does this, because I know that financially he doesn't have to do it.
His colleagues say he's talented in making everyone feel accepted.
He does it because he has a real passion for the kids, and he loves working with them.
Vic, were your ears burning a little bit ago? Somebody was saying some nice things about you. Really? Yes.
For every class, you get those 5 minutes that you travel, and he's outside, and everybody's giving him a hug. Everybody's saying hi to him.
Kelly, welcome back.
He's just contagious. His kindness is contagious. It's beautiful.
One thing is for sure, Reedy's greatest masterpiece isn't carving linoleum in his studio. It's made in his class, carving the paths for student success. In Miami, Victoria Perez, WUFT News.
We saw record-breaking low temperatures this morning, but a warm-up is on the way. I'll have just how much longer these cold temperatures are here to stay after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Solar storms last night brought colorful northern lights to unexpected places. Officers from Alajua's police department captured photos of the rare sight in our Florida skies. Now, welcome back to the desk, Matthew Clark. Matthew, I gotta say, I've always been interested in northern lights, but I've never been able to see them for myself.
Yeah, they are rare.
Yeah, and here in Florida, that's crazy to me how you can even like see those things.
It's even rarer in Florida, but there's a chance to see them again tonight as the Space Weather Prediction Center has issued another level 4 out of 5 solar storm watch for tonight. So, go to a dark place. Best chance of seeing them is in a dark place. Open up the exposure on your camera. Stay out there for about 30 minutes to let your eyes adjust if you want to try to see them with your naked eye. But not only northern lights, we're feeling northern temperatures here across north central Florida. Waking up this morning, we saw record-breaking lows, 28 degrees in Gainesville, 28 in Ocala, and 20s elsewhere across north central Florida. That 28 degrees here in Gainesville did break the previous record set on this day, which was back only in 2011, so not too long ago. But we did break it by 2 degrees, so it was cold. Now, I'm going to step off the screen here for a second so you can see how Gainesville compared to other places within the country. And actually, on this map, the low temperatures since midnight, 28 is the lowest across the board across our country. 28 was the lowest we saw this morning here in Gainesville. Like places like Boston saw 32. Places such as northern Minnesota saw 30 degrees. So it was very cold, freezing temperatures here across north central Florida here in Gainesville. But we did warm up in the afternoon. We have reached 68 degrees. We did reach 70 as our afternoon high today. But overall, gorgeous night sky, clear night skies, giving us a chance to possibly see the auroras again tonight. It won't be nearly as chilly as well, but it's going to be a little bit chilly, so may need some multiple layers if you are heading out and about to try to catch the auroras later tonight. Temperatures elsewhere, 67 in Ocala, 67 in Stark, 64 in Lake City. So for the most part, we're all sitting in the upper 60s, mid 60s as well. The dew points, it's also very dry out there still, so we do have an elevated fire risk through the remainder of today. If you have any ideas of cooking s'mores out on a campfire, just something to be mindful of, as low humidity and windy conditions could create a quicker cause for fires across north central Florida. We're not going to get nearly as cold as we did last night, but temperatures tomorrow morning are going to be 43 in Gainesville and 41 in Ocala. So some of us may even see the upper 30s again tomorrow, but we're not going to be seeing freezing temperatures. And then we're going to warm up even more tomorrow afternoon. 74 is a high. Chilly start in the morning, and then we're going to get seasonable in the afternoon. And when I say seasonable, this is right on par with our average here in Florida for this time of year. 75 is that average high, 51 is the average low. So we're going to be average in terms of high temperatures, below average in terms of low temperatures over the next couple of days. But that heat up trend is going to continue over the next couple of days. We are going to get above average as we head into Friday and Saturday, but still lots of sunshine, more seasonable for this time of year. Temperature outlook over the next 6 to 10 days. Climate Prediction Center is forecasting above average temperatures, well above average temperatures for pretty much all of the Florida Peninsula. So a warm-up is on the way in terms of above average temperatures across north central Florida and pretty much all of the southeast. Out in the tropics, no tropical development is expected over the next 7 days. November 30th is the end of hurricane season, so all is quiet out in the tropics. Nothing expected over the next 7 days, really even over the next couple of weeks. So definitely some great news there. 7-day forecast looks pretty good to me. Lots of sunshine out there, a gradual warm up as we start to head in towards the back half of this weekend. And then we're reaching the 80s again as we start the next work week.
Thank you, Matthew. And while the Veterans Day holiday may be over, organizations work year-round to give these heroes the support they need when their service to the country is over. WUFT's Oriana Torre went to one of those organizations and is live in the studio. Oriana, you spoke with a veteran who's been on the receiving end of their unconventional mental health service.
Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, is a common issue among veterans, especially those who were exposed to or witnessed life-threatening experiences. And when they return to the States, the trauma can severely impact their everyday lives. That's where Service Dogs for Patriots steps in. They use dog training to help these service members recover.
Dottie and her dog are the perfect match. and then come back and do a block.
The border collie named Merlin helps Cornell Dottie Gould, a Vietnam veteran, manage her PTSD.
Nobody really wanted to hear about it. I mean, what kind of stories did I have about the wounded soldiers that I took care of?
Service Dogs for Patriots founder Michelle Dunlap helps veterans like Dottie with dog trainings to give veterans a second chance to build their lives.
Yes, good boy.
The unique thing about this program is participants train their service dog.
It mirrors what they experienced in the military, where they had a mission and they trained for that mission, and it gives them a sense of confidence because they are able to navigate situations that they weren't previously able to navigate.
Dunlap says cases like Gould's are not commonly spoken about. News.va.gov reports limited information about American women in Vietnam leaves little to no knowledge about their health and mental issues. Just like Gould, many veterans turn to unconventional methods for help.
What better way to deal with this than with a dog? I mean, dogs are great, and they can go anywhere with you.
After this training, Dottie and Merlin are prepared to find out just where, anywhere, will take them. After graduating from the program, veterans usually come back to help others in their mental health journeys. This program is free of charge and veterans are only required to bring their dog. Live in the studio, Oriana Torre, WUFT News. Coming up in sports, a shocking coaching move involving the Gators. We'll tell you how this can change the future of the program. And Florida football players are living up to the heroes of their past, but one Gator has bigger shoes to fill. That and more coming up.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome back to sports. I'm Hailey Hurst. Breaking news involving the Florida Gators soccer program. They announced this afternoon that Samantha Bohan will not return as the head coach. WUFT's Hannah Getman is live at Donald R. Disney Stadium with more on this surprising news.
Thank you very much, Hailey. I'm here with WRUF.com soccer beat reporter David Lopez. David, a surprising move, Samantha Bohan no longer Gator soccer head coach. What does this move tell you about the state of this program?
Yeah, definitely a surprising move, Hannah, especially considering the fact that the Gators had their best season since 2021, made the SEC tournament, and today is National Signing Day. So what that might tell us is that there was something going on internally with the coaching staff, because on the outside looking in, it seemed like this team really was headed in the right direction.
Where does this program go in terms of a national search for a new head coach?
Well, when you fire a coach after a winning season like that, usually it means because you're trying to take things to another level. So I think in the next head coach, they're looking for an experienced winner, someone with Power 4 coaching experience, and someone who could take this team from a postseason level to a championship level.
And you mentioned it's National Signing Day. What does this move mean for potential recruits?
Well, when you see a coaching staff get fired right during this recruiting cycle, usually you see a lot of turnover in that recruiting class. But I think having it been on National Signing Day, I think that the athletic department would have let some of these players know ahead of time that there would be a change in the coaching staff, and they still ended up signing here.
Thank you very much, David. Again, WRUF.com soccer beat reporter David Lopez, live from Donald R. Disney Stadium. Hannah Getman, WUFT Sports.
Moving on to the hardwood, Florida men's basketball stayed hot and made its second win in a row by beating in-state rivals Florida State on Tuesday night. The Gators didn't get off to the best start. The Seminoles were on top right away and had a 4-point lead at the half. However, Florida was fueled by a second straight double-double by junior Thomas Houck, whose 20 points and 13 rebounds sparked the comeback. The Gators also got a double-double from Ruben Chinyulu and used a 14-2 run in the second half to escape a near upset with a 78-76 win. Next up, Florida's off to Jacksonville to face the Miami Hurricanes on Sunday. Staying on the field, while it may not be recent, the Gators have a rich tradition of winning, and playing for the team has become a family affair. WFT's Jordan Banks has more on the legacy of the Florida Gators.
Here at the Swamp, legacy runs deep. From grandfathers to fathers, uncles to sons, generations have laced up their cleats to represent the orange and blue. For wide receiver Khalil Jackson, the legacy stretches back 3 generations, from his father Willie Jackson Jr. and his uncle Terry Jackson to his grandfather Willie Jackson Sr., the first African-American player to earn a scholarship at the University of Florida.
I definitely feel blessed to be able to continue this legacy. It's something great to be a part of. Everybody can't, say they're a part of something like that, so it's definitely special to be a part of something like that.
For sophomore linebacker Miles Graham, the Gators standard runs in his blood. His father, Ernest Graham, was a Florida standout.
I wanted to be a Gator. I wanted to follow in his footsteps. I feel like ever since I knew what a Gator was, I wanted to be one. So that really played a big role in me coming here and wanting to rep the orange and blue.
Across the locker room, his cousin Titus Bullard is representing his last name, the son of Thaddeus Bullard, better known to Gator Nation as WWE's Titus O'Neil.
Great last name to have. He's done many things for it. I just look to follow in those footsteps.
They aren't the only cousins in the locker room. Vernell Brown III and Vincent Brown Jr. share more than a last name. They share a family history that's deeply rooted in Florida football.
It's a privilege to carry that last name. I feel like my papa always tell us, he loaned us the last name. He gave us the last name, representing how he gonna take it away. So every day, no matter if they're playing football, walking on the street, meeting new people, just leave a great impression because your last name means something.
And for Taylor Spirito, the Gator pride started with his father,
John Spirito.
Another family tie woven into this program's past.
My dad was a really big special teams player when he played here, and I've gotten the chance to be big on special teams while I've been here. And so just what it takes to be a good special teams player is heart and effort.
Reporting from the University of Florida, Jordan Banks, WUFT Sports.
Lastly, Gator women's basketball sophomore Liv McGill was named U.S. Basketball Writers Association National Player of the Week and SEC Player of the Week after a record-breaking start to the season. That wraps it up for sports. Stick around for one last look at the weather after the break.
Welcome back. Well, we got a pretty good 7-day forecast ahead. Lots of sunshine. Some clouds will start to move back in as we head in towards the end of the weekend and beginning of next week, but still clear skies across the board and a gradual warm-up, so we will not be breaking any record low temperatures for the foreseeable future. Today we woke up, it was 28 degrees, very cold out there, 44 as a forecasted low tomorrow morning, and then going up past then. Overall, lots of sunshine, warming up into the 80s by early next week.
Thanks, Matthew, and thank you for joining us. We're back here tomorrow for another edition of First at 5.
But your North Central Florida news is always on at WFT.org and our social media platforms. Have a good night.